Word. Hey, Diane Conklin here with CompleteMarketingSystems.com. So you may have noticed last week I did a little post about the word of the year, right? So many people, the first part of January, I was seeing it everywhere I went, right? So many people talking about what's your word of the year, what's your word, what's your word. And it just got me thinking about, like, why are we doing this? And look, I've done this, but I got some feedback, and so this is part 2. I wanted to talk a little bit about your word. Okay, I'll stop doing that. Here's the thing. Look, if this works for you, just like everything else in business, right? If having a word works for you and you get something out of it that's positive, then do it. I'm never the person that's going to say don't do something. What I am trying to do, what I tried to do by the original article, by the way, if you didn't see the original post, you can check it out. It's on all the social media posts, LinkedIn, and it's on Twitter, and it's even on Instagram, Facebook, or you can go to the website, CompleteMarketingSystems.com, and if you just click on blogs, it'll be the first or second one. Or you can go directly to CompleteMarketingSystems.com/CMS/word. Either way. But here's the point of all of this is it's really simple. I want you to think. I want you to use your noggin, right? I want you to not just blindly follow somebody. Just blindly do something because, well, this person likes it or this person does it and it works for them, right? Look, in some of the feedback I got, people said, look, I have it in all different places. I reassess at the end of 90 days, all of that. And that's great. That's my point, right? Is so many times when we do something and we think about it for a 12-month period, our brains just can't wrap around, our heads can't get wrapped around that. But what we can do is every 90 days reassess. And I'm going to encourage you. By the way, there's also nothing magical about January, right? You can start over. Actually, don't start over. Start again. This isn't what I intended to talk about, but you can start again anytime. You can start again, in the next moment, in the next hour, the next day. I think, a friend of mine was telling me she read something that said every Monday you should reassess so that if something got screwed up the previous day or the previous week or whatever, that you don't feel like you're stuck and that you blew the whole year because you didn't, right? I mean, let's break it down. There's 12 months in the year. There's 365 days, total. Work days, average typically is 22 days a month, right? If you take weekends off. And, as entrepreneurs, maybe you work a few more, maybe you work a few less, whatever. My point is this. It's sort of like knowing what your income goal is for the year, right? So if you want to make $100,000, how much do you have to make a month? Some of you know that number immediately. Others of you don't have a clue, right? The number, by the way, is $8,333.33. Really simple. How do I know that? I know that because I teach it. I know that because that was a goal at one point. I know that because all of my clients can regurgitate that number over and over again because we talk about it, right? It's a measurable number. It's just a number. It's just one thing. But if you don't know where you're going, then it doesn't matter how you get there, right? It can take you a year, it can take you 10 years, it can take you a day to get where you're going, right? Most of us have GPSs in our car, but we don't use them in our business. And so it's the same. I said I wasn't going to do this again. It's the same with this, right? If you want to have a word for 2019, if you want to have a different word every week, if you want to have a new word every day, that's up to you. My point is, I want you to ask yourself, why are you doing it? And are you getting something out of it? If you are, and it's a positive experience, knock yourself out, right? Do what works for you. But don't just do it because Diane said. Don't not do it because Diane said, right? Do it because it makes sense to you. It works for you. And here's the thing, it doesn't have, this is one of those sort of what I would call a soft thing. You don't have to get a return on investment out of your word that you can measure in dollars to the bank, but you do need to have a return on investment in that you've done more than put, so many times what we do is we pick a word, we put it on a piece of paper or a sticky note or whatever, and we tape it to our computer or we tape it to our bedroom wall. And then what happens? You look at it every day, and pretty soon it has less impact. It has less value. Why? Because you're looking at it every day, right? So if you're going to do this and you're going to do it for a year, I'm going to encourage you to at the 90-day mark to at least reassess, right? But if you're going to do it and you're going to do it for the whole year, then move your word around. Maybe once a month you move it somewhere else so that it looks different, and you have to look in a different place for it. Change sometimes is enough to spur us forward, right? So I just really wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up and talk a little bit about, I certainly wasn't telling you not to do that. I have done it in the past. I've chosen not to do it this year. It's, to me, it's sort of like resolutions. I don't set resolutions. I have goals, and every day I have things that have to get done, right? There's accountability for me, and I'm my own accountability person, but that's my thing, right? That's what works for me. I'm very structured, and I'm very much a paper and pencil, right, kind of person. You guys don't see this, but I have there's actually a pad sitting in front of me with the 5 things I wanted to cover. The electronic piece is great, but I just do better when I have it in hard copy. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I hope that brings some clarity. If the word thing works for you, do the word. Do what works, but do it for the right reasons. Not because somebody else said, but because it works for you, or you're trying it to see if it works for you. All right. I'm Diane Conklin with CompleteMarketingSystems.com. If I can be of help, shoot me a note, reach out. I would love to do that for you. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Make it a great day.